everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and you are watching Growing Green. So first of all, I'm going to start off by saying I apologize if I sound sick. I am sick. I got sick after coming back from my holiday in Christchurch and around the South Island, so what can you do? But anyway, today's video, as you already know by the title, I am going to be propagating Hoya in lacquer. Now, I've been experimenting with lacquer for maybe like a couple of months now, and I have decided that I absolutely love lacquer for propagating Hoya. So what did I do? I went out and I bought a 45-litre bag of lacquer, and it's huge. I'm not even going to try picking it up for the video for you, but I of course will show it to you a little later on. So this video is going to be all about chopping up my Hoya, propagating my Hoya in lacquer, a couple of tips and tricks that I have for you that I've learned so far and that other people have taught me. I want to show you how I prepare the lacquer, how I put my cuttings into lacquer, how I take my cuttings as well, because that's also very important. So yeah, first of all, I'm going to start with the lacquer preparation. First of all, you don't just want to stick your Hoya straight into the lacquer. So if you didn't know what lacquer is, it is actually an acronym, and that stands for lightweight expanded clay aggregate. So what it is this. So these are the lacquer balls. I will obviously give you a bit of a close-up in a minute. So this is what lacquer looks like here. It's basically little clay balls. It's basically just another growing medium that you can grow your plants in, and there are also a lot of benefits to using lacquer. So I know a lot of people do actually use lacquer to grow their plants in, their full plants in. I actually don't do this because, if you didn't know, lacquer actually has no nutrients on its own. It's purely like a clay medium for growing stuff in. So that's why I only use it for propagation, and what it does is it actually sucks up the moisture, so the roots actually have to go looking for it, so it makes the roots nice and strong, and they also grow very fast. But for the purposes of this video, they just go everywhere. But for the purposes of this video, I'm purely going to be talking about it and how I use it to propagate Hoya. One benefit I will talk about with lacquer that I've already found is less fungus gnats. So you know, fungus gnats, they lay their eggs in soil. They don't lay their eggs on this. So yeah, that's a little bit of a rundown on lacquer, and now I'm going to show you how to prepare it. So I've been holding the lacquer for a little while now, and it's actually, if you can see, left a whole lot of dust on my hands. Now this is lacquer dust, and you want to soak your lacquer and flush your lacquer before you use it, otherwise the stuff goes everywhere. But a good friend of mine on Instagram reminded me not to flush your lacquer in your sink, because if this stuff goes down your drain and it dries again, it will clog up your drain. So do it outside. So before I head outside and prep the lacquer, I just wanted to obviously show you what my bag of lacquer looks like. This is the brand that I picked here. It's from Easy Grow, and I'll put the link in the description box down below. It was either $40 or $45 for this massive bag. Like, it's massive. It's about the size of your average compost bag. So yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. Alright, sorry for the awful angle. I'm doing this in between rain showers, but now I'm going to fill the bucket with water, swoosh the lacquer around, get all that crap out, and rinse it, and I'm going to continue to do that until the water is almost clear. Oi, no! No! Alright, so now my lacquer has been flushed. I need to obviously take some cuttings to put in the lacquer. So I'm going to head into my greenhouse and do that right now. So, welcome to my greenhouse. It might be a little bit foggy in here at the moment because the mister is going, but it's good, it's doing its job. So I'm going to now take some cuttings. I'm going to take cuttings of my obavata, my Shepherdii, and my Pubicalyx pink silver, and also probably my Hoya Bella, because she is getting long and could do with a little bit of bushing out. And I might also take some fishtail cuttings because my fishtail is also getting nice and long and I don't have any more fishtail cuttings. So when you're taking Hoya cuttings to prop in lacquer, I always make sure that the little bit of stem that I get is nice and long. This is for a couple of reasons. Number one, it makes sure that you have enough stem to pop in the lacquer itself, because you do need a fairly long-ish stem. And number two, it is a little bit of insurance policy, so if you pop it in the lacquer and it starts to rot from the bottom where you've chopped it, you have a bit of working room to kind of cut up the stem and make sure that you obviously don't lose your cutting. Alrighty, so the first plant I'm going to be cutting is my Hoya. So as you can see, she is nice and long and she is growing super well, but she is getting a little bit like awkwardly lopsided. So I'm going to be chopping and propping her for a good cause. But this one here I'm obviously going to leave because it's nice and small, but these two are going to get a chop. Hoya actually doesn't have a lot of stem in between sets of nodes, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be maybe double chopping. I'm going to chop it kind of round about here. One big chop, I'm going to chop it off right about here, and then I'm going to take it into the plant room and kind of see how many I can get out of it. Don't panic, this is going to fall to the floor because I'm by myself, but yeah, I'm going to kind of count how many nodes are on the small one and then even out on the side and make the big chop. As you can see, I'm going to be chopping it, I hope you can see that, right before that next, or just after that next set of leaves, so that stem is as long as possible. Oh gosh, okay. Ready? Sorry, baby. 3, 2, 1. Oh no! 3, 2, 1. Ah! I'm sorry, baby. I know you were so happy. So I'm going to chop this one right there. 3, 2, 1. Ah! So next I'm going to chop my fishtail Hoya. As you can see, again, she is nice and long. The last time I chopped her was probably like a few months ago, but it is making a new stem on the other side, which is really good. It's nice to have another stem going when you chop this one, because otherwise it takes forever to come back, trust me, I know. And it's also making a new stem there. I'm sorry, babe. I'm so sorry. I don't want to chop that leaf off, so give me a sec. Okay. This hurts. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I'm so sorry. Okay, now I'm on my greenhouse floor and I'm going to be propagating these guys. So these are my Hoya that I have been growing up trellis. So this is my Hoya shepherdii. It is doing very nicely on this trellis, but it's time to give it a chop. So it has this one here, and it has this one here. So this one I'm going to actually leave on the plant and tie it back up. And this is the one I'm going to be propagating. Again, as close to the next set of leaves as possible. 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, this is the next one I'm going to be doing. This is my Hoya Pupacalyx Pink Silver. All my Hoya in here are probably like shaking in their boots right now. So it is definitely just one long tendril. 3, 2, 1. Alright, this is the last one that I'm going to be chopping. Oh, this one hurts the most. This is my Hoya obavata. I have already chopped my Hindu robe and my princess, but this one probably is going to hurt the most. Okay, I'm going to balls it. I'm going to take this set of leaves and this set of leaves, so this is going to stay. Again, before the next set of leaves. Okay, this hurts. Oh my god. Panic. 3, 2, 1. No! No! She'll be fine. That is how to take Hoya cuttings. Now I'm going to go into the plant room and show you how I prepare them and put them in lacquer. Alrighty, so now we're back in the plant room. I'm going to show you how I like to split up my cuttings and of course put them into the lacquer to propagate. I'm just going to go through each one and show you how I split them up, and I'm also going to show you all the other cuttings that I've taken. First of all, we have my Hoya obavata cutting. So as you can see, it is one long cutting with a growth point and 2 sets of leaves. So I'm going to get about 3 propagations out of this. So what I normally do, you can see 2 sets of leaves. I will chop it just above that set of leaves, leave all of the stem on, chop above that set of leaves, And then as you can see, it's actually getting a new little set of leaves right there in the middle of my palm. So I'm going to chop it there and this. So this whole top bit here is going to be one propagation because it is the growth point. So I'm going to make the first chop just above this set of leaves. I always leave more stem at the bottom, even if this seems extreme, because I can chop it later and it also gives me wiggle room in case I get rot. So that's my obavata. Next up we have my pubicalyx pink splash cutting. Again, I'm going to do exactly the same thing, just chopping above each set of nodes to make a whole lot of cutting. So once again, 2-leaf cutting with a bit of stem at the bottom. Alright, I'm going to do my Shepherdii now, and again, the same thing. So again, just above each node. Again, I'll flip it around so you can see, just above each set of leaves. So there's one, and there is two. Okay, now the Hoya Bella is a little bit harder because there's not as much space in between the nodes, but we're just gonna trim it up into the smallest bits possible and see how we go. Alright, so if you didn't know already, I rearranged my propagation room, so this is all new. The shelves are now empty and a lot of my propagations are over here, but that can be a whole nother video. But as you can see, it looks like a massacre happened in here and it is full of Hoya cuttings. So let me go through everything I've chopped up. So starting here, I have just the standard Hoya carnosa. Moving along is some Hoya mini bell. Then I have some Hoya australis, some Hoya red buttons, of course the obavata, the pubicalyx pink silver, the Shepherdii, the Bella, the fishtail, a couple of crimson princess, and next to that a couple of Hindu rope. Okay, so now is the fun part. Now we put the cuttings into lacquer. I'll show you a current setup that I have at the moment and then we will just get going and plant up all of the propagations. Ta-da! So here are a few that I set up earlier. Let me pop them down. So this is a container of lacquer propagations that I did about 2 weeks ago. As you can see, I have the individual pots here. I put the lacquer inside the pot and I have multiple cuttings in here. The reason I do that is it's space saving and I can also do a lot more propagations and a lot smaller space. And these are just nursery pots with draining holes in the bottom. So every time I water it, the water just drains into the green tray and then I can empty out the green tray once a week. Alrighty, I'm gonna start nice and easy with my obavata because there's only 3 of those. So of course, first you will need, ta-da, filled with lacquer, and now all I do is I wiggle the cutting into the lacquer. So now I'm just gonna stick it in, I'm gonna wiggle it around like so until I know that it's hit the bottom of the pot. And then I'll do that with all my other cuttings. Wriggle it in, wriggle it in. So then your container should look a little bit like this. They're all kind of just sitting in there. What I then do is I go around and fill in kind of in behind everything and make sure the lacquer is right to the top. Ooh, they do go everywhere. Alright, so it's now nice and full. I'm going to make a label. Hoya obavata. Here you go. And stick it smack bang on the front. And then we have our first pot of lacquer Hoya. So what I do after this is I pop them into like one of those green trays. I water them all through the top, and then whatever water comes out the bottom I leave sitting in the bottom. So that's the water that the lacquer will soak up and the roots have to find. So that's how they form. So yeah, I'm gonna do a couple more pots and then I'll show you how I do that. So there we have it. That is part 1 of how I propagate Hoya in LECA video. I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something from it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below. That lets me know what kind of content you guys like me to create and lets me know that I'm on the right path. Also, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more and you want to see part 2, which will be coming up in a few months, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and also the notification bell next to it so you never miss an upload. If you'd like to see in between updates of these Hoya, also make sure to go and check out my Instagram page. I do regular updates on there pretty much daily, so make sure to go and check that out as well. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch and I will see you in my next one. Bye!